In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to delete a network and then an organization in Meraki. This could be useful if you're offboarding a customer or if you're just cleaning up networks and organizations in your Meraki tenant. This is super helpful and just it is pretty easy to do, but I just wanted to put a video together because I'm in the process of doing it and just for documentation purposes. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to delete a network. So in order to do that in Meraki, you have to make sure that you're in the organization that you want to be in. And then you go to organization and then you click overview and it'll bring you to this screen where it shows you all of the networks that you have within the organization that you're under. Right. So the first one that we're going to delete this bottom one right here. I want to get rid of this network here. And once we check that box, we're going to select delete at the top. Okay. And then it's going to ask, are you sure you want to delete this network? And we're going to go ahead and click the box there and delete. All right. And easy enough. The network's gone and that's it. Now, if you do have equipment in that network, it'll be put into the org's inventory. But if you want to go into that network and check to see if you have any equipment in there, you can always do that beforehand. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do is I want to get rid of this entire org just completely. I want to delete it. There's no reason for me to have it any longer. So in order to do that, you're going to go to organization. And then you're going to go to settings. And once you're in settings, you're going to go all the way to the bottom. And it's going to have a little button here that says delete this organization. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to click this. And actually, before we do that, we're going to hit cancel. And before we do that, we're going to check and make sure that we don't have any equipment in our inventory in this org. All of my equipment should be migrated at this point to another org or just removed completely. But let's go ahead and check. So we're going to go to organization and we're going to go to inventory. All right. So once we're here, we can see this organization has no devices. So we're all in the clear. Nothing's left in here. But in the event, that you're doing this, I would suggest you go into this inventory field and make sure that you either move your equipment to a separate org/network or you just remove it completely and delete it from this org so that can be claimed later on in a different organization. So we're going to go back to organization and then settings. And we're going to scroll down to the bottom and we're going to delete the org. Please re-enter your password. Oh, looks like we got an error saying that we can't delete as multiple users, so we need to go ahead and delete those now. All right, so my screen recording software kind of malfunctioned at a certain point in that recording. After I received that error about needing to delete the users in my org before I could delete the org, I went ahead and I deleted all the users except myself in that org. And then I went back to try to figure out, when I went back to delete the org after I removed all the users, it then told me that you had to delete all of the networks in the org as well before you could delete the org. So then I went back, deleted all the networks in the org, tried to go back to delete the org, and then it told me you could not delete the org unless you removed all the licenses as well from that organization. So the video is going to pick back up after me going through those steps and then trying to find a way to move the licenses in that org that I was trying to delete to a different organization. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to delete I'm going to try to move all of the non-MT licenses to a separate organization. And then I'm going to see if it'll let me delete the org. I'm not sure. I might have to put in a support case about these MT licenses if it still gives me some BS. I'm going to go ahead and try to delete it anyway, even though those licenses are still showing. Sometimes it takes some time for those licenses to be transferred. Let's go here, delete. Still has licenses. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll give this a chance to work itself out. And I'll give it a few minutes to see if Meraki updates, and then I'll try to delete the org again. If not, I may have to put in a ticket to see how I can get some of those licenses removed from this org to delete the org. So stay tuned on that. I'll be right back. All right. So it wasn't really updating in the Meraki portal, so I ended up having to put a support case in with Meraki to figure out what the heck's going on. Turns out it told me to delete all the networks, and then it was giving me crap about the licenses. Turns out you need to have a single network, at least in your Meraki org, in order to transfer licenses. Add that to the list of reasons why I'm migrating away from Meraki, but it looks like we're going to need to recreate a network in order to transfer those licenses. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Let's go ahead and we need to, let's go ahead and click this and next. Yeah, so it's going to go ahead and bring me to the create a network screen. So I'm just going to go ahead and call this temp net, and let's do just do combined hardware default, and then we'll just create the network here. I think Meraki makes good equipment minus their firewall, but I mean the limitations that they put on some of this stuff is ridiculous. So let's go ahead and let's try, now that we have our network created, let's try and move those licenses over. So we're going to go to our inventory. Licenses. And we're going to go ahead and do this. It's still not letting us, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. Still not letting us move these MT licenses. I have no idea what that's about. I'm going to unselect those, and I'm going to move these other ones to another org that we have active equipment in. Okay, well, so that actually worked. For the MT ones, I don't know what actions I have available. Licenses to, so I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do here. What we can do is delete this network again, and then we'll see if we can, yeah, I don't know what other options we're going to have here. So let's go ahead and let's delete the network that we just created to move those licenses. Organization overview. And I'm just going to select it, and I'm going to click delete. All right, so it looks like we're back to where we started. So we're going to go to organization and settings, and hopefully it'll let us delete this network, although I'll probably have to respond to that support case saying that we can't do anything with those MT licenses. So we'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and delete the org. Hey, looked like that might have worked. All right, so it allowed those MT licenses to be in there. I guess I don't know what the hell that is, but I'm going to go ahead and log in again, and we'll see if that org is still showing up in our portal. Looks like we're good. So that org is no longer there. Just to kind of recap what happened here. We deleted a network, and then we tried to delete the org. It said that we needed to delete all networks in the org before deleting our organization. So we did that. Then it came back and said we needed to delete all of our users. So I went ahead and did that. Then they came back and said we needed to basically not have any licensing in our organization for us to be able to delete it. I tried to assign that licensing to a different organization. I had to put in a support case basically saying that it wasn't working. Meraki support came back and said you need to have at least one network active in your org in order to move that licensing. So we went ahead and we created that temp network, moved the licensing that we could, and then deleted the org. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody in the comments can drop what those MT licenses are. I'm not 100% sure on why I couldn't move those or what those were related to, but that didn't seem, those were still in my organization when I deleted it. So it didn't seem to impact the final deletion of that organization. So, I hope that was helpful for you. That was just kind of me trying to do it from start to finish. Ran into a few speed bumps there. Hopefully that'll help somebody in the future when they're trying to delete it, delete an organization. They don't have to reach out to support. That was something that I didn't know or hadn't run into before with Meraki. So always good to learn. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have issues or you want to reach out about something related to Meraki or anything in the video, please drop a comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next one.